Well, what are some of the other data that you're seeing that convinces you of this paradigm?
Sure. Well, one very curious situation with the fossil record, so thinking vertically about things, is not the hard parts of the animal, but the trackways, the movements that they left behind. So in North America, for example, the first dinosaurs are in what are called Triassic sediments. Now, these are units about halfway up in the fossil record, and what I would consider to be about midpoint of the flood or so. But the first record of dinosaurs in North America are not the bones, footprints.
Oh, really?
Now, this is a pattern that's repeated in several different areas. Some of our very first amphibian fossils in the rock record, a little bit lower down, are footprints, not hard parts. They're not skeletons, they're not jaws, they're not teeth, they're not bones. This is a pattern that we see in several different groups, trilobites included, where their footprints are first and their body parts are later.
Now, when you say first, you're talking about in lower layers?
Right. A geologist always thinks kind of from the bottom going up, or at least a paleontologist does. So first appearance is the first time I see from the bottom going up a particular type of animal, plant, or creature. For the trilobites, for the amphibians, for the dinosaurs, the first time I find evidence of them in the fossil record, it's from trackways, not the hard parts, not the shells, not the teeth, not the bones. From an old Earth perspective, that's really weird and hard to grapple with because teeth and shells and bones fossilize really well. You have a lot more of those in the fossil record than we have trackways. Because trackways are made on soft mud, they're easy to wipe out. You think about when you go to the beach and you leave some trackways there, they're gone with the next wave. But when it comes to the fossil record from a global flood perspective, starting in Genesis and recognizing that the flood is a dynamic and destructive event, we have evidence of these animals running away from whatever's coming. To have that next wave of sediment bury their tracks and then bury them in maybe the swashback that's coming back from the shore area. And so the discovery of a pattern here, and this is important, it's not just an isolated fact, it's a pattern of trackways followed by bones and teeth and shells that says there's not much time between the formation of this trackway and the discovery of the trilobite or the dinosaur. From an old Earth perspective, you've got to have maybe millions of years between the trackway production and ultimately the animal that made it. But that obviously doesn't make a whole lot of sense, right? Because if there's trackways, there's animals, and those animals have bones and teeth and shells to them. Why aren't they fossilized? You roll the dice that bones and teeth and shells are going to come up first almost every time. But here in the fossil record, it's like you've rolled snake eyes 10 times in a row. Something's wrong with the pattern. Instead, the pattern's telling us something different. There's no time between when somebody leaves a track and when somebody gets buried.